Okay, so thermostat replacement time. First step is to locate your thermostat, which is this thing right here. There's this Vanos pressure oil line stuff right here. I'm not gonna disconnect those, but first thing you have to do is take off your airbox piping. This is very simple. Band clamps, unscrew them, take it off. As you can see, that's the top of my airbox, and that's where it would connect to, and the pipe is over here. Your next step is to remove this and this bolt, which holds the Vanos oil stuff, onto your water pump and thermostat housing. They're two 10mm bolts. So the next step I did was drain this expansion tank all of coolant. As you can see there's no coolant left. That dark spot is a shadow, of course. And this is what I used: Harbor Freight multifunction pump, and those two bottles are full of coolant. I don't know exactly how much I took out, but I mean, I didn't have an extra gallon jug, so I just took an empty milk bottle and an empty Dawn soap bottle. Alright. So after you empty your expansion tank, you have to remove this hose right here that goes right there, and this hose right here that connects to right there. There's your big picture. Be careful when this happens, because you will, at least I lost 2 or 3 cups more from my left hose and a couple more drops of coolant in my right hose. So your next step would be to unscrew 3 bolts holding the thermostat housing itself, which would be one right here, one right here, and one right here. There you go. They're all 10mm again, and this time there's a difference in lengths. The one on top of the thermostat housing is longer. The back left one and the front one closest to you, they're the same size. These are the two Vanos bolts holding the Vanos pressure stuff together. They're also different sizes, lengths I mean, but it's also a 10mm head. Okay, so after lots and lots of struggling, the thermostat is out. What happens is, this is the thermostat in the housing. It's upside down, but these 3 tubes are connected to the engine block, and then you have these, and go back into the housing. I mean, it was a big long struggle trying to get this out. Now basically all you have to do is remove this, prying it out. Don't damage the housing though. Insert your new one. I have a Stant 82 degrees Celsius one. This is, the OEM is a Bayer 79 degrees Celsius part. I just want my engine to run a little warmer, because it's the winter, it's cold, so warm up times are going to be better, shorter. And well, yep, very difficult, lots of tugging, pull left and right, and when you come out, you basically have to pry it up, and then it comes out. So the thermostat coil is going to be facing you. And well, here you go. Thermostat. I basically just, it goes in like this. I took a pipe clamp, just grabbed it by the handles, the 2 little metal things on it, wiggled it a little and pulled it out. Pretty easy. This is going to the garbage, so don't worry about damaging it, just careful with the housing. And what you must do is replace the O-rings, of course, and I'll show you how to put the new thermostat in, and we'll be done. It's going to be, reinstallation would be the same thing as removing everything. I mean, what else did you have to do? I actually had to remove the Vanos oil line. It's a banjo bolt here, and it's a band clamp to a tube here, band clamp, banjo bolt. you have 2 copper crush washers. I actually dropped one, so I'm just gonna run to the auto parts store and get a generic crush washer. Alright. Okay, and there's my buttoned up thermostat. One thing I did is, when you saw those tubes that went from the housing to the engine block, I kept mine on the housing, and I fiddled around with the thermostat until the housing was flat against the water pump housing. And then what I did was just, I actually had a helper, my parents in this case, shine a flashlight where the tubes on the engine block are, because they're all the way in there. Basically, those tubes all the way in there. Yeah, it's difficult to show, especially, there we go. Behind that band clamp. Yeah, there we go. Behind that band clamp. Like, you got 3 of those. I just shoved it in as firm as I can, and what happened is, you hear a little pop, and then at that point you know it's in. If you look at it, just look all around there, make sure the O-ring isn't sticking out. I lubed it up with a lot of Vaseline. When I took off my Vanos oil line, I lost one of the crush washers here, so right now this is just temporarily screwed in, and tomorrow I'm gonna have to make a stop to the dealership and hopefully they have crush washers in stock, and then I won't have to wait, because I really want to test this, bleed it, and make sure I don't have any leaks, because it is kind of a pain in the ass to actually do. But I mean, the second time, I basically know what the hell I'm doing, so that's good. Besides that, I need to get this banjo bolt crush washers, and then besides that, I gotta bolt up the intake hoses, intake piping, I don't even know what it is, and I'm good to go. And there's your thermostat replacement. Yep.